I'll take a shot at this. I'm sure that Hosni Mubarak and Gaddafi never thought they had to comply with the compliance of their citizens. I mean, they were wealthy men. One was worth 70 billion, one was worth 40 billion. And so they thought, gee, I don't have to worry about my citizens. Well, they were wrong. As I always say, this is the weapon of mass destruction in today's reality, and every one of us carries them as customers, employees, partners, and investors. And we have the right, as Bob was about to show us, to tweet if I don't like Marcel or say I really do like Bob, right? And I can say something about anybody now. And a lot of other people, as Bob said, might join. So I'm going to suggest the old form of compliance was complying with regulatory rules because somebody had to protect us before we became collectively attached. But compliance now is, I'm going to call it social network compliance. We're going to have to comply with the wants and the wishes of those we were intended to serve. And so I think boards have to think outside of the box now again and think, okay, who am I complying with? Oh yeah, I remember who. Investors, customers, employees, prospects, and alumni. And now that they're all carrying around these really very efficient tools, I better be in tune with what they're saying. Otherwise, they will catch me off guard.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's a little bit of survey data. Social users are 3 times more trusting from what people in their network tell them than what companies tell them. They're 4 times more trusting
Let's talk
from
about
CEOs.
Okay, so the network there quickly, because there's some networks where you self-select your network, and there's others where you tap into a broader network. Does that hold across the type of network?
Generally, yeah, if you're a social user, because there are differing levels of engagement on the different social networks, but generally people believe what they see from that network, more so than what they hear from CEOs, and certainly more so than politicians. The politicians' number is 6x. That might be so far an indictment of the lack of trust or the broken trust from companies and governments until it's proven wrong. But the numbers are at that magnitude.
But from an organizational perspective, and I want to go back to that B2B question, or example I gave earlier, to kind of tie it back there. So, I mean, if an employee is going out to the crowd to try to figure out a question, they're going to trust what they're reading on discussion board X without having had any relationship. They've had presumably some relationship with the people there, but I mean that's where they're going to get their information. They're going to say that's probably true.
Yeah, and it's
the bullet vest example is a great one.
And it's increasing, and the trust coming from authority frameworks is decreasing.
So what do directors do? What do boards do there?
I love Barry's example. There is a new sheriff in town. The court of social accountability is in session, and I think boards have to monitor. They have to have the skill sets to understand and interpret what's happening, and they have to be part of the conversation. Social is experiential. Ignoring it won't make it go away. It'll happen with you or without you, so they have to jump into the pool.